Okay, March 1st, first day of spring, but it's still a red dawn here, or a red week, I would say. Now we're almost going on a week of this. So apparently, first thing I saw this morning was a Russian column about 65 kilometers long on the BBC and on CNN. It was confirmed by, it was a US satellite photo. So they need more of those drones. There are some drones from Turkey that I think could deal with that pretty well. We're still hearing a lot of stories about people. These Russian soldiers don't know where they are. They're under duress and everything. I don't know. We need to exploit that, but I'll talk about that idea a little bit later. How we can exploit that. There's also some news this morning that we're getting some new planes from the European Union, but I'm just concerned that we also need the pilots. Maybe Ukraine can offer instant citizenship for the people who can fly those planes, so that they would be Ukrainian and wouldn't violate any rules if there are any. But at least they would fly under a Ukrainian flag, and that could be something. Maybe that's in the works. I don't know, but probably that's common sense, because it's one thing to get a plane and another thing to have the people, and then another thing on top of having the people to have them trained and have them in practice to operate the plane. So I'm not sure what the pilot situation is in Ukraine, but I know the Air Force here is non-existent, so they definitely need pilots here. Now, last night we had only one air raid siren. It was just for a short time. It was like all the other days and nights. Nothing happened here. I think it was just precautionary because there was something going on, in the local area. In local area, I mean in the region. So I think, yeah, we made it another 24 hours. We're just living life 24 hours at a time and just trying to get adjusted to a new normal and find a way to fit ourselves in and find things to do that can help people out. Um, so yeah, I put an idea out on my LinkedIn page, that if not Samsung, but Microsoft, Google, who makes Android, Microsoft, who makes Windows, and Apple, who has the home screens for the pads and the phones, if they could reach the Russian people through the home screens and broadcast the images and tell them what's going on and ask them if they want to be in North Korea. I put that out there. I think it's technically possible. I mean, if they can send you pictures of mountains and change the screensavers and everything, I think they can send messages to people through the home screens. I'm pretty sure Russia is running on Android, Windows, and iOS. I'm pretty sure that at least the people who vote and the people who have business interests and everything have these devices. I don't think there's a Russian version of Windows, unless they're using DOS or something, but I highly doubt it. So I think if we can reach like their upper middle class people, and even seems like everybody has phones in every village. People have phones now. It's a pretty ubiquitous thing, like these iPhones and Samsung droids and Android phones, I should say. There's many variety of Android phones. But if we can, if someone can reach Microsoft and these companies have the contacts, to reach someone, get to the home screen, I think that would be a great psychological operation, and tell the people this is why your economy is crashing and this is why your country is on the pariah list, because a lot of them don't understand. They're getting propaganda news over there. This Russian television, this obvious fake news channel. It's just so blatant. I don't know how they survive this long, but it's pretty blatant. The Foreign Legion is getting a lot of signups. I don't know what the numbers are. I heard some number around 20,000 people have expressed interest in coming over here. It's like the Finnish Winter War. It's like a Western call to jihad, so it looks like they're getting a lot of signups, including, I think, some Israeli snipers even expressed interest. So this is good news. It's just there's a lot of momentum building, so the people in Kiev have to hang on until all this stuff can get through the supply chain. I mean, you have all these commitments for weapons, you have all this commitment for people, but they have to get over here and they have to get to the front. I don't know. That's probably like a 2-week process on a good day. Maybe less. Maybe they can come here in days. But still, there's like some momentum building, to push against this tide. But then the Russians have their own momentum with a 65-kilometer long column of armored vehicles. Hopefully hopefully they have the same supply chain problems with not being able to give them fuel. I know a lot of the vehicles are running out of fuel. We also saw a ship, news about a ship pulled up to a Georgian port. Now, I wrote in a Facebook post, instead of telling those guys, F you, we're not filling up your ship, they should have filled it up with seawater and taken their money. And it would have destroyed the whole ship, obviously, running seawater through the engines. But Ukrainians maybe have to take this opportunity. If a truck is running out of gas and comes to the gas station, have some sugar water ready to put in their gas tank, and it can disable the whole vehicle, and maybe I don't know, maybe put some fake fuel depots and have everything filled up with sugar water to destroy the engines. But that was at least pretty encouraging. I mean, I didn't even think the conscripts would be at that level of incompetence. I mean, it's kind of encouraging, but it's kind of scary because this is only the front 40%, and they've tied up the forces a lot, and there's still another columns moving. So the Western weapons and the people, they have to get here fast. I mean, I'd say in 24 hours. We've got to get these people here, even less. But I'm practically speaking, it's probably looking like 2 days, 3 days on a good day, and maybe 2 weeks in a practical way to get documents done and papers. I don't know if they're going to even bother with that, to do all the administration. But I can tell you, because if Kiev falls and we have to get it back, that's going to be hard. It's good if they can defend Kiev and they can get these people into Kiev and push out the forces. Otherwise, it's going to become a Stalingrad thing, where they're going to be in there. And Stalingrad was hard for everybody. It was hard, back in the World War II for the attackers and the defenders. It was it's not an ideal situation. It's better if they can hold the city and keep those columns on the outskirts and then pick them off with the javelins and pick them off with incendiary rounds. That's probably another weapon they're not talking about, but there's these rounds that actually are like little grenades and stuff that can ignite a flame. And then there's also rounds that go through the door and then explode once they're inside, so they don't explode on impact. They have like a delayed charge, kind of like a bunker buster, but they're shot out of, I think, a fully automatic shotgun, the AA-12 or something like this. So we need those as well. They don't talk about it much. My friend John is safe. He arrived in Budapest. So the borders are still pretty tied up, but I think they're letting the women and children through without passport checks. I would say, about this situation, it's just really hard to say like what's going on in Putin's head. But they had a meeting the other day, and we didn't get any feedback what happened other than they agreed to a second meeting, and that's a stall tactic. So I think Putin is trying to build up his position before he has to, before he negotiates. So he negotiates from a higher point. But this is just really baffling. Like, why would anyone? One person commented that he didn't only shoot himself in the foot, he shot his country in the head. And we got to give the Russian people that message. I think that's the only way we're really going to come out of this unscathed and go back to original borders, is it has to come from inside Russia. Because if we reach some sort of stalemate here and have a ceasefire, that could just be like the Korean Peninsula. It could be a 50-year ceasefire, and Kiev ends up occupied or half occupied, and the east ends up occupied but not recognized. So we really have to get to the citizenry of Russia, and like I said, get on their home screens or something. So yeah, pressure your governments to get these supplies over here. It's one thing to pledge supplies, it's another thing to transport them. We really need to get them transported over here, so we got to probably get a transportation network going, ground transportation network. Yes, of course, it's a lot slower than air, but it can still work, and it can still work if it's well coordinated and everything. And then it'll just kick in, maybe in a week or two. All these arms and all these people coming over will hopefully turn the tide. But yeah, I'm still here. I have thoughts. I have to be honest. I think about it a couple times a day. It's better to leave or something. But when you're seeing this president Zelensky, and you're seeing Klitschko, and even I think Alexander Usyk, who has a chance to win all the belts, he's already got one of the heavyweight boxing belts, and he has a chance to get the other ones from Tyson Fury. It'd be a tough match, but he's a skilled points boxer. He's a skilled technical boxer. So if he's in shape and Tyson Fury is not, he could probably outbox Tyson Fury and win the rounds. But it wouldn't be easy. But he's given that up, and I've seen pictures of him online that he's ready to go, fight for his country. So I would actually encourage, if you're an American with military experience, I would encourage you to come over here, and find a way to help. This is democracy being tested, on what we stand for and what we believe in. We have to right this wrong. We've been buying oil and buying minerals and all this stuff from an ideology that absolutely hates freedom. We really have to put a stop to this. So if you're like a citizen, talk to your congressman. We really have to stop this. We really have to first get our trade straight, to make sure the people we trade with are aligned with our values, because this is what happens. Putin caught Europe and America in a weak spot, in a spot of indecision and a spot of dependence, and putting them in a quagmire, or in some sort of dilemma, exploiting a dilemma they have. Do we keep buying the gas? Anyway, I rant about energy enough, but we have to right this wrong. So anyway, that's all I have today. My friend Danny, former Air Force guy, he made me some chili. So I'm finishing off the second jar today. It's vegetarian chili. It was pretty good. I have to say, I tried some yesterday. It was a-okay. I'm looking forward to finish off this second jar, but he asked me how I was doing today, and I said, I'm almost out of chili. So Danny, I'm going to come and hit you up and get more of that. It's actually vegan. It's actually not only vegetarian, it's a vegan chili. So yeah, it keeps my health good, so take care, and make sure you're going out every day. Turn off the devices, go out for a walk, go out for a run, go to the gym, but do it without devices, being glued to the devices. Let your brain rest from this, So, yeah, do the best you can to have a productive day. Do something productive. Okay, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.